Let's get started with the background. For the first floor, I'm going to use yellow, permanent yellow. Please remember that the outline for this painting is available on my Etsy shop. I will leave the link in the description. For the second one, I'm going to use rose madder with a lot of water. And here I'm using lavender. I will put more lavender near the borders, and near the floor it should be clearer. Let's start with the first flower. I'm going to use rose madder now. Now I'm going to add a bit more of color. It should be more intense here. And I difuminate it very well so it doesn't have such a strong difference. I'm going to add a bit of violet while it's still wet. And also I'm trying to difuminate it well. In the second flower, I'm going to cover it with vermilion. And the third flower, you can paint it with any violet you have. I'm starting with red violet here, and I'm going to add a bit of quinacridone Christmas Lake and bright clear violet. So here you can use any violet color you want, and you can add a bit of pink there as well. Like here, for example, I'm adding a little bit of bright opera. Now here I'm using yellow green. Let's add a bit of Hawker's green in the leaf, and let's difuminate well those two colors so we don't have this line. The second leaf I'm painting it with the mix that I have on my brush, and now adding a bit more of Hawker's green and a bit more of ultramarine deep. And difuminating it a bit so it doesn't have that border. Now I add some indigo in the mix of the greens I have on my palette, and I'm going to paint some shadows and that line on the leaf. Now with some violet that I mixed with the reds I have on my palette, I'm going to paint the border of each petal. And I'm going to difuminate it a bit so you have like kind of shadow. With indigo, I'm adding the border to the leaves. And the shadow on the bottom of the flower. I'm sorry for the light here, guys, I didn't notice it, but let's move to the second floor, and with permanent red I'm going to darken some parts of the petals, and I'm going to difuminate a bit the lines that we have here, but I'm not covering all of the left petal, just half of it. With quinacridone permanent rose I'm covering all the rest of the petals, I mean 2 of them. And also adding a bit at the bottom of the first big petal, and difuminated it well. Now with the mix of the greens that we have left on the palette and a bit more of indigo, I'm painting the leaves on the second floor. And with permanent red I'm going to paint those little flowers. I don't know what's this. Well, let's say that those are flowers. Now while those are still wet, I'm going to add some green branches, touching the flowers, and I like that like kind of merging effect that we have, because the flowers they are wet and we are painting like wet on wet. Now I'm painting the shadows on the main floor using some violet. And again with violet, I'm going to paint the shadow on the lavender. Now with green that I have left on my palette, and it's basically Ochre's green and indigo, I'm painting the leaves. And here I have more Ochre's green, I think. So I'm painting the leaves. And with indigo I'm adding the shadows and the lines on the leaves. With the same indigo I'm adding the shadow on the bottom of the second flower. With violet, more shadows on the lavender. Now with this pen that I will put in the description the name of this one. It's brown color, it's not black. I'm going to make the contour for all of the elements that we have on our three flowers. Perfect. Now if you like it, you can leave it as it. It actually looks pretty well now, but I decided to add a bit more of background with some dots of paint. And I'm going to use for it just violet, blue colors and a lot of water and some additional brush. Let's see how I'm going to make it. And I'm going to cover the flowers so I don't like this. Okay. Now I want to put some more dots near the flowers. So that's it. I think we have it ready. Now I'm going just to cut it. And I'm also going to make the border with that brown pen that I have. If you don't want to draw and want to start right away with the painting with colors, you may find the digital outline on my Etsy shop. If you enjoyed the tutorial, please like, subscribe and leave any question you have in the comment section.